Oh my God, Mary O'Malley. What are you doing here?
Julia Claiborne Johnson.
I'm so glad to see you. I haven't seen you in ages.
I know.
Wait a minute, you work here.
I do work
totally
here. I'm
forgot.
always here.
Wow. I was hoping you could recommend a good book to me.
I can recommend an awesome book. I can recommend Be Frank with Me, but you've probably already
I've read it
that.
many times. Many
Julia
times.
Claiborne Johnson is the author of the wonderful, one of my favorite hand sells, Be Frank with Me, which is a lovely novel.
Yes.
And you can look up the whole summary of what it's about. It's about a charming little boy and a woman who is forced to watch him, and his mother, who is a amazing eclectic author. But it's a funny book, it's a sweet book, and you'll love it. But as long as I have you here, there's definitely a little of that.
Yeah.
There are, but it's all joyous at the end.
Mm-hmm.
As long as I have you here, can I ask you 3 questions?
I'd love to talk about myself. So yes, and I never leave my desk.
I can ask you 30 questions.
Okay, yes,
but we'll
do.
do 3 today to
Okay.
start with. Gosh, we actually became friends because I stalked you on Twitter.
Yes, you did. So here's what happened. Everybody, are you ready for this? They took me to a booksellers convention, and she had been like tweeting about my book for a long time. And so I thought, oh, well, she'll be there. And then she wasn't there after Twitter stalking me for so long. And I knew she worked at Anderson's Books. So I was like, okay, there are 3 of them. I'm going to figure out which one she is. And I did a lot of research, which is me thinking inside my head. And so then I called this one, and she answered the phone. Anderson's Bookstore, this is Mary. And I said, is this Mary O'Malley? And she said, yes, it is. And I said, this is Julia Claiborne Johnson. And then she went, oh, you're kidding. I was like, no, it really is. So she's like, oh my God, I was just talking about you. So,
and I had been. And in a million years, I never expected that an author that I just kept fangirling over on Twitter would actually call and ask for me.
Personally.
Using
right. Both names.
And then came to visit me here more than once. Which has been great.
Because I live in Los Angeles. It is a long commute.
It is. It's a long way to come and visit a bookseller.
And boy, are my arms tired.
It's comedy too, folks. And so obviously this worked out. My Twitter stalking did.
Mm-hmm.
In your experience, in general, do authors like to have their readers reach out on social media and talk about their books with them?
Oh man, I don't know about other people, but I do, because I'm trying to write my second novel, which is really not a happy experience, and I'll be like, I'm a failure, I'm a phony, sitting at my desk all day long, as I do, and then I'll get something like what you wrote to me from somebody that I don't know, and they'll be like, oh, I loved your book, and I'll be like, I'm not so bad after all, and it's just mind-blowing to me that somebody I don't know, who's not my mother, has read my book. Apparently a few have. But I think it's a great thing. I can't imagine why people wouldn't like it, but I'm super, gregarious, so.
So Julia is giving you all license to go out there and reach out to those authors on Twitter, on Instagram, on their author page, on Facebook. I would probably recommend not just showing up at your house. That might be
all those
frowned on.
little round nose prints on your window glass, they start to disturb you after a while.
So just go ahead and reach out to those authors, guys. And now you're in Anderson's, which is an independently owned bookstore, visiting with me. But again, as a whole, what do independent bookstores and the booksellers mean to authors?
Well, I'll tell you something. I'm leaving part of my sweater here for you. When you go into a bookstore, the people have read a lot of books and they can recommend books that they have loved. Whereas when you go to a place like Amazon, you go looking for a particular book. You don't go looking for a new experience. So, I guess some people do, but an independent bookseller can say, what book do you like? Here's a book that's like that, or this is a book that I loved. And then also, we were talking about this before, how it functions as a community center, like how they not only have author readings, but they have story time, and then you have play people come and do stuff. And it really, in our fractured current society, it's nice to have a place where you can go and run into other people who are like you. Oh my God, it was funny. When I was at that convention, they were telling stories about people who, because Louise Erdrich has a bookstore, for example, and there was a couple that met in her bookstore, and they had their wedding in her bookstore. And I was just like, oh my God, that's so cute. But you know, that's how you meet people in your community, particularly if you're new in town or something, or
That's
you're
a
a
good
new
point.
parent.
Yes.
You can come to our story time and go, oh my God.
Is it just me?
It's just me. So it really performs a function that is missing, I think.
That's, you reminded me that when we first opened here, we actually did have a proposal that took place among our shelves where they had met and fallen in love with bookstores. And so he hid a little something in a book, and he suggested to his girlfriend, oh, let's see what this one says. And inside it asked her to marry him.
Oh, see, you need that. You need more places like that.
You're so right.
And bookstore people are fun.
We are tons of fun.
Yeah.
And so, we definitely attract more fun authors and eclectic groups of people. Anybody who loves to talk literature and books, this is a great place to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I have one other question for you, because this is something I've just wondered for a while now, but as a writer, are you superstitious at all? Or are there things that you do or that you've decided to do until you get your book published, or once you get a book published, do you like save a pencil that you use to write the book, or do you have superstitions?
I didn't think I had any, but the pencil one made me think of it. I would only use they were called they're these cedar pencils. I only use those to write the first book, and I have a different pencil for the next set of books.
Oh.
But the other thing I'm doing this time, because the first time it seemed impossible that my book would ever get published, but this time I was like, okay, until I finish the rough draft of this next novel, I'm not going to cut my hair. And when Mary first met me, my hair was up here.
It was very short.
Let's have a look at where it is now, folks. And what's sad is by the time I finish the first draft of the next one, I'm going to be able to make a big braid out of it and just climb out the window and escape. Here's where it is now.
Oh my goodness.
So
that is very long.
It's been a kind of a haul. So
when you get that written, you can donate your hair to Locks of Love.
Oh, I've done that many times before, and I'm sure they're like, what are they sending me this for? Oh, yeah. But I thought, because it's my take on a rally beard. And I was saying to you, I could also grow a rally beard, but it would make me perhaps less popular. But I'm totally capable of it. So, but I'm going for the hair.
That's amazing. You have to promise then, once you finish the manuscript and it is sent off for editing, that you'll come back and show us how long your hair's gotten. I'm guessing it's not going to be that much longer.
I hope so. I hope you're right about that. Oh, I'm so glad I ran into you.
Thank you so much.
Fun. So, anyway, thank you, everyone. Please buy my book. My children are both in college. I need to.